Can you spot what's wrong with this Plumeria? Honestly, neither could I. From the top, all three plants looked perfectly healthy. Fresh new leaves were growing, flower buds were developing, and everything looked normal. But hidden underneath just a few leaves was this. Your Plumeria can look completely healthy and still be hiding a mealybug infestation. And if I had ignored this for a few more weeks, the problem could have become much harder to control. Let me show you what happened. A few days ago, I was watering my Plumeria plants like I normally do. Everything looked fine. As I was moving around the pots, one leaf caught my attention. It was curled. At first, I thought it was just an old leaf that had started drying. But something didn't feel right. The reason was simple. These plants had faced a severe mealybug attack few months ago, so whenever I see an unusual leaf, I take it seriously. So instead of ignoring it, I decided to investigate. Before we continue, let me quickly tell you about these plants. These are my 3 Champa or Plumeria plants. I grew them from stem cuttings taken from a roadside Plumeria tree around 2 to 3 years ago. After rooting successfully, they were planted in pots and gradually shifted into larger containers as they grew. Today, they are around 5 to 5.5 feet tall and have become some of my favorite plants in the garden. They've come a long way, which is why I don't like taking risks when I notice something unusual. So let's take a closer look at this leaf. You can see this brown, powder-like material on the backside of the leaf. There was another curled leaf right beside it, but interestingly, that leaf had no visible insects or brown deposits. At that point, I wasn't sure whether this was just an old damaged leaf or the beginning of something bigger. So I expanded my search. I checked the next bunch of leaves. No issues. Then the next bunch. Again, no issues. Everything looked healthy. There were flower clusters. Fresh leaves were emerging. The plants honestly looked fantastic. For a moment, I started thinking that maybe I was worrying for no reason. But something still didn't feel right. So I started lifting the leaf clusters and checking underneath. And that's when I found the real problem. Hidden below the healthy leaves were several infected leaves. I removed one leaf for a closer inspection. As soon as I turned it over, the signs became obvious. Along the veins were tiny white cotton-like clusters. These were mealybugs. There were also black patches on the leaf surface. This black coating is called sooty mold. The leaf had started curling and deforming because of the damage caused by these sap-sucking insects. What surprised me most was where these leaves were hiding. Almost every affected leaf was an older leaf hidden underneath the healthy growth. From above, the plant looked perfect. The flowers looked healthy. The new leaves looked healthy. Meanwhile, the infestation was quietly developing out of sight. And this is exactly how mealybug infestations often begin. Mealybugs feed by sucking sap from the plant. As they feed, they release a sticky substance called honeydew. That honeydew becomes the perfect surface for black sooty mold to grow. As their population increases, leaves start curling, weakening, and eventually the infestation spreads to other parts of the plant. That's why early detection is so important. In fact, I have a feeling that's exactly what happened here. A few months ago, these plants suffered a severe mealybug infestation. The plants recovered beautifully and started producing lots of healthy new growth. But I don't think the mealybugs ever completely disappeared. More likely, a few survivors remained hidden underneath older leaves, inside dense leaf clusters, or around branch joints where they were difficult to notice. As the plants recovered, fresh, healthy leaves covered the top, and everything started looking normal again. Meanwhile, those hidden survivors slowly rebuilt their population underneath, and that's probably why the plants looked perfectly healthy from above, while the infestation was quietly developing below. After finding the first infected leaves, I checked all 3 plants thoroughly. In total, there are around 10 to 15 major leaf clusters across these plants. One by one, I inspected every cluster. A few more infected leaves showed up here and there. Thankfully, the infestation was still limited. Most of the damage was confined to a handful of older leaves hidden beneath the healthy foliage. I didn't want to immediately reach for pesticides. The most effective first step was obvious. Remove every infected leaf. So that's exactly what I did. One by one, I removed the affected leaves from all 3 plants. And while doing that, I discovered a few more infected leaves that I had initially missed. Very quickly, I ended up with a pile like this. Just look at how many leaves were hiding the infestation. The good thing is that most of these were older leaves that the plants can easily replace. By removing them, I wasn't just getting rid of damaged foliage. I was removing a large portion of the mealybug population as well. When you're dealing with an early infestation, that can make a huge difference. Within a few minutes, the plants looked much cleaner, and the pest population had been reduced dramatically. But the job wasn't over yet. Because if there's one thing I've learned from dealing with mealybugs, it's this: removing the visible insects is easy. Preventing their return is the real challenge. So the next step was preventive treatment. For the neem oil solution, I took around 1 liter of water in my spray can. Then I added a small amount of mild liquid soap and approximately 1 spoon of neem oil. After that, I shook the spray can thoroughly until the neem oil mixed properly with the water. You can actually see how the solution turns slightly cloudy once everything is blended well. With the solution ready, I sprayed the entire plant thoroughly. I made sure to spray both the upper and lower surfaces of the leaves, paying special attention to the dense leaf clusters where mealybugs like to hide. I also lifted the leaf bunches and sprayed deep inside so that the solution could reach every corner of the plant. Some of the affected leaves still had black deposits and brown powder-like residue on them, so I gently rubbed those leaves by hand to clean off as much of the buildup as possible. Once the spraying was complete, the plants looked much cleaner, and the treatment had reached all the areas where hidden mealybugs were most likely to be present. Now all that's left is regular monitoring over the next few weeks to make sure the infestation doesn't return. Thankfully, this time the infestation was still in its early stages, so removing the affected leaves and following up with neem oil should be enough to bring the situation under control. But if your Plumeria is heavily infested, the situation can be very different. I've experienced that before with these very same plants. Once mealybugs spread across the plant, controlling them becomes much more difficult. In severe cases, many gardeners use systemic insecticides containing active ingredients such as imidacloprid or thiamethoxam. In fact, I had to use them during the previous infestation to save these plants. Fortunately, this time things never reached that stage. And that's what makes mealybugs so tricky. They often stay hidden until the damage becomes obvious. For me, the biggest lesson from this experience is simple. Pay attention to small changes in your plants. This entire investigation started because of a single curled leaf. A leaf that could have easily gone unnoticed. But that small warning sign led me to a hidden infestation that was developing underneath otherwise healthy-looking foliage. So the next time you're watering your plants, take a few extra seconds to inspect them closely. Lift the leaves, check the hidden areas, look underneath the leaf clusters. Sometimes the smallest warning signs can prevent the biggest problems. Hopefully, these plumerias are now back on the right track, and I'll keep you updated on their progress over the coming weeks. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next gardening update.